Fastest guys drive first, so yeah, we'll keep on punching.
And once again, from the outside as well.
Yeah.
How's the start going to differ this time? Did you learn anything from this morning?
It's hard. We did a good start, but it's hard to get to the inside. But we take a little bit of a chance and take 4 new tires, so yeah, all in.
And you and your teammate, of course, Mattias Ekström, very much taking the battle to Johan Kristoffersson. How will you close that gap?
I mean, it's hard. He's always fast, and now it's no different. It's really fast here today, so I'll see what I can do from the outside. Then we'll work from that.
There we go. Engines are starting, and you're getting ready to go. Good luck to Robin Larsson. Let's take a look then at what happened in Q1 this morning before we see some action here in Q2.
Q1 in Barcelona, damp track, cold morning. Despite the sunshine, we knew that it would get quicker as the session went on. Robin Larsson quicker off the start, almost made it round the outside of everybody, had to slot into P2. Timmy Hansen, though, had lost out, was at the back of the pack. Larsson then found incredible traction on the first lap up the inside of Kevin Hansen, managing to make that pass. And this was Kevin later in the race behind Enzo E. Timmy Hansen had jokered, put in the lap times despite ending up P4 at the end of the first lap. He came round and merged just in front of Robin Larsson, and Timmy took the win in the first race. Well, after that brilliant win for Timmy Hansen in the first race, Liam Doran jumped at the start. Also Mattias Ekström, so both those guys having to do double joker laps. Andreas Bakkerud got the best start when they finally got underway. His old teammate Mattias Ekström tight up behind him. Doran looked quicker than Bakkerud, but unfortunately, thanks to having to do those double jokers, it was Bakkerud who edged his Monster Energy RX Cartel teammate. Liam managing to get around the outside of Mattias Ekström. So Bakkerud taking the win in race 2, the time not so good. On to race 3. Kristoffersson on the inside, matched down to turn 1 by Gronholm. Gronholm squeezed him and the Polo clipped the wall, seemingly undamaged, managed to take the whole shot. Bennett looked like he was going to go up the inside of Scheider and Gronholm, but backed out rather than risk hitting the tyre wall on the first race of a long weekend. Scheider coming around the outside, managing to edge Gronholm here at the merge. Gronholm not squeezing him too hard, holding the inside line. Scheider then had a problem at the end of the race and would retire. Kristoffersson quickie so far. Final race of Q1, Tamas Karai on the inside with a great start, meaning Timmy couldn't go around the outside, so he got on the handbrake and went up the inside. Anton Markland dumped down into P3, Mandy August slotting in behind him. Markland made a mistake, ran the car just a little bit wide, but put in the lap times, and come the merge, Anton Markland was indeed in front. So Anton taking the win in race 4. It was time good enough for P3. So this is how they stand at the end of Q1. Johan Kristoffersson taking the win from Timmy Hansen, Markland and Larsson, a Swedish top 4. Then Gronholm, Timosjanov, Bakkerud, Kevin Hansen inside the top 8. Doran, Ekström, Bennett and Enzo Edia top 12. Karai, August, Guillermo and Scheider will want a place in the semi-finals, but they've got work to do. Beautiful sunshine here at the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya. Had a couple of questions as to why they're seeing 2030 around the circuit. That's because one of the sponsors here is Pirineus Barcelona 2030, which is a bid for a sporting event in the year 2030. So no, we haven't time travelled 10 years forward. I know there are a lot of reasons we might actually want to do that right now, but let's hope it's less than 10 years before things are sorted. And let's hope also that the Pirineus Barcelona 2030 bid is successful. It's in the background. There you go. Logitech G, the title sponsor here for both days. Tomorrow's World RX of Catalunya, and that gives you an indication, I think, of just how hard the organisers have had to work to get the budget together to run this event. Remember, there are no spectators here, and we're really, really grateful to the entire team here in Barcelona for managing to get a double header as well. Remember, it was only supposed to be a normal race weekend. It's a double header for both World RX and Super 1600 as we continue. Pete Tong style that, we continue. It's an English joke, sorry. We continue to try and get this championship finished in a very tricky year. Glad you're with us. Time to get Q2 underway, and remember, this one is fastest first. Is the track going to develop and help those later drivers? Here is race 1. Johan Kristoffersson, Timmy Hansen, Anton Markland and Robin Larsson. Quite the lineup. New tyres for Larsson on the outside. Interesting. There is Tommy Kristoffersson, Johan's father, and his engineer Richard sitting to the right. They're the two guys you often see looking at the stopwatches, making those crucial decisions. This one will be tougher against Hansen alongside the current world champion. Good start. The Peugeot drops back though. Kristoffersson gets the whole shot, gets in the door though. Kristoffersson on 2 wheels. How did he hold on to that? The world champion nearly rolled the polo. That could have been season over. Contact again. Kristoffersson in the wars here. He's hit by Markland again. He hits the tyres there on the right-hand side. He will not be happy with that. Larsen with the whole shot. Hansen in P2. Kristoffersson fighting for his life here, it seems. It looked like he was hit by nearly everyone.
Yeah, sloppy start there, wasn't it? I'd like to see that replay of the start again. I don't know if maybe Larsen was squeezing everybody from the outside to get into the lead, but then again on the run-up to turn 2, Kristoffersson has got a target on his back, hasn't he?
Mate, 2 wheels like that Kristoffersson, yeah, he's got a huge lead. No one's trying to take him out, but when you've got a lead like that, you know, if that car gets rolled, there is no spare car down there. I don't know what the score would be. I think he'd lose enough points anyway that it would be game over. Timmy Hansen chasing Larsen out front. Kristoffersson is still circulating back just behind them in P3. He's gapping Markland behind him, so Kristoffersson's polo seems okay. I don't know what it's made of, but something very special is what it's made of. Contact, heavy contact, 2 wheels. He held on as Larsen run wide. Larsen's gone off after the jump. He's pulled off. We saw Hansen slot up the inside. Kristoffersson is only 2.4 behind Timmy Hansen. I think Johan might win this from where he was on the grid, and with all that carnage in turn 1 and turn 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to, isn't he? Just looking at his split times, he's way quicker than Hansen in front. Just in the first sector, he was 5/10 faster.
So Kristoffersson has got the bit between his teeth. Look at him in the background. He's flinging the polo around. I reckon he's livid. He will be so fired up from turn 1. Chase him down. Look at this. Rarely see damage on the polo. The front left corner is missing. The front right corner is damaged. I wonder if there'll be damage to the door as well from the outside. For me, he got pushed in hard from the outside. Half a second in the advantage. Larsen slams the door in the background. Kristoffersson continuing to chase, and Hansen staying out for another lap, but the gap looks like it's coming down to me, Dan.
Yeah, tumbling down 3/10 in that first sector, back to Kristoffersson again, eating it out of him. He's got a bit between his teeth. There's Larsen. Thumbs up, he's okay. He's hit the tyres there, has he?
Well, he's done something, hasn't he? We just saw Hansen going up his inside, didn't we, on a tight shot. We didn't see what happened to Larsen. Kristoffersson's got the gap down to 2.1. What will it be as they come over the line? I reckon maybe a little bit less again. No, tiny 9,000s back the other way, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Took 4/10 out of Timmy Hansen on that last lap.
And yeah, now it's 9/10 to his advantage. It was only half a second on the previous lap round. Hansen will go Joker this time. Watch for Kristoffersson on the inside line. Remember, the Joker's got a quicker exit. Has Hansen got anything here for Kristoffersson? No, he has not. Markland going to come through in P3. Kristoffersson, though, after being bullied hard in turn 1 and turn 2, has fought back with some style in the polo. There'll be some work for the team to do there to make sure that's fully fit in time for Q3. There's a little bit more of a break, thankfully, between 2 and 3. Pops the grass bank on the inside. Kristoffersson will take the checkered flag here. Hansen in P2. Markland crosses the line in 3rd. The time is a 3:18.7. And earlier on, it was a 3:14.8, so he was a lot faster in Q1. So yes, he's won the race, but that may not be a good time. We'll have to see what the conditions are like. Kristoffersson fights back for the win in the VW Polo. 3:18.7, though, is slower than he went in the first session. Timmy Hansen, Anton Markland, P2 and P3. Is it track conditions, or is it all that carnage in turn 1? A DNF for Larsen, disaster for him. Right, off the line. Watch Kristoffersson on the inside. What happens outside him? Larsen squeezes across. Now Markland is a passenger there, isn't he? And then Kristoffersson hooks the wall on the inside. Right, then there's contact again as Hansen comes across his nose from the left. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, my Dan, how close. Almost you wonder if Markland's car wasn't there to have been leaning the front wing on, would the polo have gone over? Look here again. Hits the tyres on the inside after another bit of contact. So really, really beaten up through here. This is Larsen, the front right wheel broke. Oh my God, he does hit the tyres hard. Front right wheel broke on Larsen's car on the landing. Well, what a race.
Dramatic.
Yeah. Front left corner, you see of Kristoffersson's car, and I'm sure that, look how accurate he is. It's just savage.
even with that extra bodywork hanging out, he knows his limits, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he probably knows he'd probably go a bit closer to the barrier with the bumpers missing, you know, just cut it in a bit finer. Larsen, a passenger off there. That will not have been fun for him to land and go straight on hard into the tyres. Not good. A lot of work for EKS, but Kristoffersson, wow.
Johan, I'm sure the adrenaline is pumping. Up on 2 wheels and still winning the race. We've seen some of the damage to your car. Just talk me through what happened.
I don't hear what you say, but it was a hectic heat. The start is very tricky, and yeah, but after the first lap I tried to get into my rhythm. Car is very strong, so happy for that, but yeah, I think also the track maybe is starting to get a little bit slower. It's very slippery on the gravel, but let's see what the other guys do, but I mean, yeah, I'm not very impressed.
Good luck, Q3.
Yeah, told you, not very impressed is all you need to hear there. You know, okay, I said livid. I think probably will have been pretty angry during that. Larsen's going to get a ride back MotoGP style. Very Spanish. And I suspect his car's being scooped up. I wonder if we can see how bad the damage is on Larsen's car. We're going to take a look back more at the start and maybe Larsen's issue as well. But here's the start again, Dan.
So Robin Larsen on the outside here, for me, is the troublemaker. Turns in on Markland, turns in on everyone. Then, well, Johan is the big loser there against the tyre wall, of course. Then concertina effect of Hansen and Markland all into each other.
Wow. I'm just looking out the corner there, having to repair the tyre barrier on the inside. If it wasn't tyres in turn 1, Dan, that would have been wheel off, I think. Then here, clips the tyres on the outside of the right. Look at that.
For me at turn 2, if you watch Johan here now, he's actually quite a way back. He fires it up the inside of Markland. That's him in anger now. He's annoyed at what's happened.
Yeah, like I say, livid. Hashtag livid.
Yeah.
Strongly worded WhatsApp, I think, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
So the thing is, the stewards, even if they... So there's Larsen's car. Front left corner is what's key on Larsen's car because it went hard into the tyre wall. I don't know if we can have a look at that again. We'll see if we've got time, but... Yeah, we can. Okay, here we go. So Larsen over the jump. Watch the front right wheel. It brakes on landing. And boom, he's turned immediately into the tyre barrier. And look, the marshals are taking Marshall. Actually, he's lucky. That's the last tyre bale. Here's another angle. Front right. Watch the front right. Here we go. There it goes. Turns immediately hard right. He's on the brake. And look, he's probably on the handbrake too because the back wheels are completely locked. And luckily, he pushes the tyres out, Dan. So yes, there's damage, but maybe not as bad as I initially thought.
No, it kind of... It wasn't a sudden stop, was it?
No.
It dramatically slowed down, but it wasn't coming to a dead hit.
There it is, front. Yeah.
It's quite crimpled, though, isn't it?
It is. That's a fair... It's all about the front left corner structurally, isn't it? It's important to note that, you know, body damage is pretty irrelevant in rallycross. It's about the chassis legs, basically, just a little way further back, and whether or not those are out of shape. There won't be any damage to the roll cage from there, that's no problem, but it's whether there's anything damaged in terms of the geometry of the front end, which can't be fixed here in Barcelona. That's not to say they won't run the car, but it could compromise Larsen for the rest of the weekend. One more look at the start while we get the track cleared up. Okay. Hansen's kind of dropped out at this point, and I tell you what, it's a good job he did. And then when Larsen comes across, but the fact Hansen is a bit further back means when Markland gets squeezed, the nose gets turned in, doesn't it? Because his rear left is on Hansen's front right, as Larsen pushes them across. So Kristoffersson then gets sandwiched on. Look at this. Look, you see the tyre barrier come apart. Look in the background now, and you see there's a couple of bits of barrier in the road. So he's landed back on 2. He's then trying to get through the gap. Markland's trying to shut the door, look, and he's having absolutely none of it and just goes sending in there. Now, he probably at this point is blaming Markland, probably because Markland's the car he's seen come into him, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know if he was aware that Larsen was on his outside or not.
No, probably not. Look how far away Larsen is at this point, and Larsen's out wide on the bar and on the gas. Yeah, I mean, Kristoffersson's fully lit there, isn't he? Absolutely. Does he get in the rear of Timmy as well?
I did see it was all under investigation, as I'm sure we would expect.
Tommy Kristoffersson up in the stands. Won't be over the moon about that, I'm sure. There's JC Race Techniques, so that's Robin's team. I suspect they're watching the stream on an iPad there. Give us a wave if you are, chaps. They'll have seen the replay several times as well. That's if they can hear us up there in the back of the grandstand. They, of course, have to stay in place because they've got Mattias Ekström in a later race. Now, where is the HIAB working? Yeah. They're out there looking at the track and sending a text message, maybe. Okay.
He's on the strongly worded WhatsApp, he is.
Yeah, he's telling us that I don't want to stand here anymore. So the tyres are getting moved to the inside there. Thank you. We've got a man in the commentary box fixing a timing screen for us. Hopefully. While we wait for the track to be fixed, I say we'll fix some stuff up here as well. We can take it. If you want to have one more look at Larsson's incident, one more look at the start, what do you fancy? Lucky dip. We'll let the director choose. What can we have another look at?
Have a spinner for it.
Okay, this is the clear up from Larsson. So we're going to have a look back at Larsson's incident again. You can see the guys working really hard. Here we go, over the jump. Front right collapses down. It's horrible as a driver, and he's immediately...
Yeah, he knows at that point something's broken.
See the water fly up from inside the tyres, so it's just lucky. If the concrete barrier was slightly further back, bear in mind that concrete barrier is not normally there, of course, because it would be in the runoff area for F1, so this is all stuff which is built by the organisers for Rallycross. And if the concrete barrier was 20 degrees left, he probably would have got away with a straight on and just parked it. So that's the old Kristoffersson, blonde hair in the middle with the headset on, who will know that the guys are going to have some work back in the paddock. There will be some of the team will still be down there. You know, it's not like they've all gone up there, but they are very limited on staff. I can't remember what it is per car this year. It's down to 5 or 4 or something, again for COVID. Although I believe that then depends again on what scenario we're in. So the scenarios are from the FIA, and it's about what country you're in and how severe the COVID measures are there. So in Latvia, you'll remember we had 3,000 fans because we were in the second scenario, and unfortunately coming back coming to Spain, we're back into the scenario where there are no fans. So again, there are way less. There's a tiny amount of media, small number of people in each of the teams. Every single person here has passed a COVID test to come to the event, including obviously myself, Dan, Laura, the whole of the TV team. Working really, really hard to make sure that where we go, you know, we don't take anything with us, and likewise that the event is safe for everybody who's working on it. I think it's worth a shout out at this point to IMG. I'm sure a lot of you will have seen the news, and I want to let you guys know how hard IMG worked to make sure this season happened. It would have been a lot cheaper and a lot easier to walk away and not have the season happen, and they didn't. They committed to it, as they've committed to this sport for the last few years. Since 2013, in fact, it's been a brilliant ride. I've loved every minute of it, and. You know, yes, we need to wait and see what's going to happen for the future, but everybody's worked so hard to make this sport what it is. Remember that when you're watching a live stream at home for free of every single session, that's something which came with the hard work of the promoter, and I say hard work from the promoter as well for this season to make sure that it's happened. Just wanted to say that. I just want you all to know how hard everybody works here. It's very easy on the outside to, you know, to ask why things have been done. Everything is done for a reason. I'm just really grateful that we're here. I hope you guys are grateful that you're watching at home. Send us a message. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you're enjoying your rallycross. And keep your chin up. I know a lot of people are struggling, particularly with you know, the fact the second wave, if you want to call it that. I know a lot of people are struggling. So keep your chin up, folks. If we can do anything to keep you entertained with a bit of rallycross and keep you smiling, then we are glad to do so. So we're still trying to get the barriers fixed. Not a lot we can do about that. Drivers will be sitting in the cars. It's now getting quite warm. We've lost our timing screen again up in commentary, so we're trying to get that fixed as well. (15 degrees Celsius, I'm told. It's Dan's normally on the timing screen. Dan's trying to fix it now.
I'm no technician.
24 degrees on the track. Dan Rook's unplugging stuff. This could go bad. If we go off air, you can blame Dan Rook. There's a man coming into the commentary box with a piece of cable and a mask, obviously.
Hey, look, I fixed it.
Okay, so it's back on, but we think we're going to change the cable up here in the. Wow, this is live fixing stuff in the commentary box whilst
and we're
also
commentating on it.
Yeah. Just don't unplug the wrong thing. Niklas Gronholm in the car. Most of the drivers waiting, I think, in the cars. We are now seeing people head towards the pre-grid. My favourite noise, if you watched Latvia, there was actually a social media post about it in the end, I think. Turbo wastegate from the Hyundais. You'll note I was nice and quiet there, so you could all appreciate it at home. What's your favourite turbo wastegate?
I don't know. Should we go old school?
I Ford RS200, I was a big fan of back in the day when I was watching
Audi
at Brands
Quattro
Hatch.
S1.
I made that noise myself. What do you think about that?
Legit.
We're digging deep here, folks. We're digging deep. I hope you're enjoying it. Okay, we are going to go racing again. This is a good thing. We're nearly there. Okay, here we go. Time for race 2, Q2. Remember, it's fastest first. Niklas Gronholm on the inside from Timošánov, Andreas Bakkerud and Kevin Hansen. New tyres on the front for Kevin and 1 new tyre for Andreas Bakkerud. Thumbs up from the marshals. You can hear the drivers clunk into gear. They'll be a little bit more anxious to get going after that long old stop. 2 GRX teammates on the inside surely have a plan for this. Great start by Gronholm, but Timošánov going with him. Timošánov moves out wide, Bakkerud slots into P2. Little bit of contact between them. Andreas Bakkerud goes up the inside of 1-2 cars. Bakkerud with the whole shot. Slot number 3 moves across. Gronholm into P2. Timošánov drops down to 3rd place. And back at the pack is Kevin Hansen. 4 quick drivers here, but what a start by Bakkerud.
Yeah, making the most of a bad situation there. Not quite getting the jump, but able to, of course, pick his way through on the exit of the corner there and get himself into the lead. Gronholm and Kevin Hansen both into the Joker lap now on the first lap. Gronholm, of course, going in after following Andreas for the first half a lap, and Kevin Hansen going in from the back of the grid.
So split strategy between the 2 GRX cars. Bakkerud in the Megane out front. So Bakkerud's lap times in Q1, although he actually ended up in a reasonable position, he wasn't as on it as 7 tenths off, and Doran looked quicker, didn't he, in the background?
Yeah, he did, which was a bit odd. Maybe Andreas gone back, done a little bit of homework. Be interested to see his lap time. Andreas 45.8 is
That's
lap
more
time.
like it, isn't it? Now,
Yeah.
Kristoffersson said he felt the track was getting slower. Interestingly, he said the gravel was slippery, that it must be some sort of a crossover point, Dan, because we can see certain parts of the tracks are starting to get the blue groove on again. We're starting finally to see some rubber laid down. Kevin Hansen right in behind Gronholm, so these two having both jokered. 3.4 off the back of Bakkerud. At the minute, I don't think they're quite close enough. What do you reckon the difference is in terms of joker delta?
I think probably for a safe bet, you've got to go 3 seconds, haven't you?
Well, we'll see in a minute, won't we? 3.8, I suppose. Timošánov is only, 2.4 in front. So Timošánov 2.4 in front of his teammate. Kevin Hansen harassing Gronholm. Kevin up the inside of Gronholm, trying to find the traction in the Peugeot, and he's done it. Niklas won't be happy about that, but Kevin did find the traction. That was one of the things they were really struggling with the Peugeot. And I say the testing they've done, several days of testing, both Timmy and Kevin, they both drove each other's cars. Timmy said they found a lot of stuff in a lot of areas. Gronholm untidy in the background, almost spins the car, holds on to it. Timošánov going to come around and probably take his teammate. He does. Has he got the slingshot? Kevin Hansen a little to the inside. Can't quite, though. He's nearly there, but not quite close enough. So Timošánov not able to hold on. What was the gap there? It was only 2.4, we reckon, didn't we? So looks like, 3 to be safe, definitely. Bakkerud's got 4.2. So Andreas Bakkerud, what are the lap times like?
Going down and down. His first lap was a 45.8. That last lap was a 47.0. So I don't know what's going on there.
No, he went a second slower, 9 tenths slower on the second lap. and then a further 3/10 slower on the next one. So Bakkerud at the minute will take this, but the lap time seems to be going slower, so is the track going the other way than we thought it might? Bakkerud round the outside will surely be in front of Kevin. He is. Norwegian slotting in front of the Swede easily. Oh, this is the time you want the Bakkerud Blues up in the grandstands, isn't it, going mad? And unfortunately, not this weekend. But Andreas with a better weekend. So far, a better weekend for all three of the Megans. Really good to see. So a rough start to the season. Through the left, Bakkerud's going to take it. Is it going to be quicker? Through 18.6, just. He goes just quicker. 95 thousandths. Andreas Bakkerud with the win in this one. Kevin Hansen P2, Timmer's Jarnov third, and Gronholm. And then you'll see where they slot in. So Bakkerud ahead of Kristoffersson, ahead of everybody. So Bakkerud to the top of the table. Look at Kevin, wasn't that far behind, but Johan and Timmy in between them. So even start on the inside. Timmer's Jarnov moved across definitely to give Gronholm a bit of room on that inside, but maybe opened the door up a little bit too much for Bakkerud behind, and then Bakkerud turning in from out wide. That's what everyone's saying, Dan, about this tight hairpin being difficult to get the traction on the exit.
Yeah, but obviously Andreas coming in slightly wider there, able to get the cut back on the two GRX Tanaco cars, and well, he made it work for him, didn't he? But it is very odd about Andreas' lap times through this race. Very strange. Kevin Hansen only managed to go, I think it was a 10th quicker than his last qualifying session. But yeah, Andreas' time's tumbling down and down. Don't know if he's maybe making mistakes. We'll find out, won't we? We've got Ekström in the next one.
Enough to be leading the session at the moment.
Andreas, there was a fist pump as you finished there. You seem very happy with that one.
I mean, finally everything works, you know. Okay, my driving was far from perfect, but I did a brilliant move in turn one, going from the outside inside, and both the Hondas went wide. Big thanks to the RX Qatar Monster and GCK. It's a long name, I know, but the boys did a great job now, and now everything is working, but we still have some fine-tuning to do, but it felt great to have 4 consistent good laps again, so thank you very much to the boys and girls.
Well, let's hope the momentum continues into Q3. Well done. Thanks.
Bakkerud all smiles in the Megane. I think they're using different mirrors, and I'm sure I spotted different mirrors in the test as well. There was a high mirror up on Andreas' onboard. Oh, there we go. Never seen that before. Been coming here for, what, 5-6 years? Got the long lens out today.
Very clear out there today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It really is. That is our local cameraman, Edward. Knows all the sights. Thank you, Edward. Top man. I'm loving the sights. So we've always been sponsored here by, pretty much always been sponsored by the local authorities. Catalonia, Barcelona. I say today, Pirineus Barcelona 2030, their bid for winter sports. Logitech G, the title sponsor of this weekend, and I say grateful to all of them, but it's a beautiful city if you've never been to Barcelona. I know now is not the time, but when you can, get yourselves down here. Okay, this one then going to be interesting. Is the track developing the right way or the wrong way for Ekström? Q2, race 3. Liam Doran on the inside, then Ekström, Bennett and Enzo Eid. Ekström gone for 3 new tyres in this one, so he knows it's absolutely critical. If he could beat Kristoffersson here, get himself a lot further up the table, it would help massively for later on today. He will know how crucial this is. He will not be wasting new tyres on a run where it is an absolutely critical. But he's going to have to win the start to make the most of it. Doran inside him will go hard into turn 1 as well, and it isn't a great start for Ekström. Ekström goes backwards but goes on the brakes, then tucks in behind Doran, tucks in behind everyone trying to get through. Enzo Eid just avoids him on the exit, as does Bennett, but he doesn't win the start. So Doran and then Ekström through the right-hander. Ekström in P2 at the moment, but Liam with the whole shot.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Ekström's got a problem with his starts. On that last run as well, he had the same thing there. We thought that he backed out of it, didn't we, off the start? But he this time he didn't get off very well again either. So maybe a problem there for Ekström off the start. But now he's hounding Liam. We saw in the first qualifying race he couldn't actually get past Liam. Both of them had to do 2 joker laps, but Liam had the pace over him.
So Doran in front of Ekström. Liam was looking quicker than Andreas in the first session. Look how much he moves the car around. We know it's not the traditional fast way. Ekström looking for the traction on the inside but can't find it. So Ekström not able to get past at the moment, but it is going to come down to whether or not these guys are quicker overall than the cars that are behind them. Still looking at the investigation between Larsen and Markland. Well, sorry, it's actually between Markland and Kristoffersson, but it was Larsen who was on the outside. I'm surprised he's not included in the investigation.
There's 2 investigations.
There are 2. Okay, so it does include all the cars from that contact with Kristoffersson earlier. Kristoffersson currently second in this session with fastest first. We were thinking that with the track development, Ekström and co might have a little bit of an advantage, but Bakkerud was doing 45.8 as his best lap. He did then slow down from that point on. These guys did a 46.6 and a 46.8 on their first lap. What is it this time round? 47.0s. So they're going slower again.
Track's going backwards almost, isn't it?
But it seems to be going backwards lap by lap. It can't be. You know, and particularly when you look there, first lap times are quicker than Bakkerud's were.
I don't know, I think something strange is happening here, isn't it?
Oh, Ekström goes joker. Last minute decision. Was that by him? Bennett's gone in behind. Enzo Weed has jokered earlier on. Enzo doing a great job this weekend. Ekström, though, with a massive slingshot round the outside. So this is the lap. Doran's got to be inch perfect here if he wants to hold Mattias Ekström off. Ekström will know that he needs to give it absolutely everything if he wants to edge the British bomb. Liam seems to have good pace here this weekend. How much was he holding Ekström up in the background? 3.5 was the gap. What's it going to be as they cross over the start-finish line this time? 2.9. Ekström taken 0.6 off Doran in that sector. But at the moment, we're saying joker 3.1. We're saying Ekström would get it. So Ekström maybe by 1/10 of a second. But Doran will have more exit speed. Round the right-hander now is going to drop the purple and black Monster Energy RX cartel car into the joker. Ekström will know what line to take to try and cover him off. He's going to try and push him out wide. Going to have to go the long way round. Liam Doran fully lit. One wheel out onto the curbs. Going to go deep on the brakes, try and come around the outside, but Ekström's got it. Oh, he just gives him a little nudge to let him know he's there. That is high speed through there. Ekström edges Doran. Can they beat the lap time, though? 3:18.6 from the previous runners. Bakkerud at the top of the table. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Problem for Doran just at the exit of that last corner, 3:20.8. Kristoffersson is going to drop in behind Kevin Hansen, so Kristoffersson goes 5th. Ekström, sorry, goes 5th. Doran with a 3:21.8, though, will be up there as well. He's going to be behind Timmy and in front of Markland. So maybe not the result they would have been looking for, considering it was fastest first. Strange things happening with the lap times. Ekström takes it from Doran, Enzo Eid and Ollie Bennett. But Ekström slots into 5th place, so Doran in 7th. Be very interested to hear his thoughts on the grip levels. Bennett off the line with a great start. The Mini does start well, but you said Ekström. Do you think Ekström gave that up? Because he gave it up, I thought, in Q1. Do you think it's an issue?
I think he's got a problem.
Do you?
Yeah, he wouldn't do that. Because he went back straight away. It wasn't like a conscious, I'm going to hit the brakes now just to back out of any contact. It was he was trying to accelerate, but he just didn't keep up.
Unless he was convinced Liam and co would run deep.
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, well, we can find out. Maybe Laura's going to talk to Mattias in a minute, so we can find out if he had a problem at the start or if, you know, exactly what it was and what his grip view is on the grip levels out there. Doran all over the back of Ekström. Mattias did hold on, but the time is only good enough for 5th.
Mattias, well done, a race win, better than this morning, but a battle with Liam Doran. Talk me through it from your point of view.
Yeah, the problem again at the start with the clutch, so we need to change the clutch now for Q3 and see if we can recover some more points, but car felt okay on the track, but the start has to be better.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Good luck for Q3.
Dan was bang on the money. Well done, mate. Problem with the clutch at the start for Ekström. You can see the rear bumper with a bit of a ding in it. That might be from the British bomb, I think, but fair go as well. It wasn't hard contact. So Ekström with a clutch problem, and bear in mind they've only got about an hour to change the clutch on that. It is a big job. They probably do it in 20 minutes, but it's not something you really want to be doing in between sessions either way. Is it something you do tonight if you were given the choice?
Yeah, and especially it's not just like changing the clutch in a road car. You have to check all the shims and the distances on all the plates. The triple plated carbon clutches. You know, it's not like a normal car one. You just chuck a new one in.
Pop it out and chuck a new one in. No, exactly. And then you've got to get that right for the next start. So there is a big job there for JC Race Technique. And they will have all the guys they can have on that car. Remember, they're limited anyway by FIA rules to make sure that there's only a certain number of people touching that car. But then also, because of COVID, they've got less people than normal. One race left to go in Q2. Tamas Karai on the inside from Mandy August, Patrick Guillem and Timo Scheider. Scheider with 3 new boots. Patrick goes for 4. Now Scheider was listed as 16th. Let's see what they gave him in the end. Did they give him a DNF? No, they did give him the time of 4:44. So you remember if you watched Q1, Scheider stopped at the hairpin and we thought he would be a DNF. He started up at minute 30 later and drove it over the line. So he wasn't a DNF, which is why he hasn't got terrible points. And it's a brilliant start by Timo Scheider. Spotters will be on, telling him you are clear. Shut the door. Mandy August, his teammate this weekend, lets him go. Scheider's on a mission. Now, can Timo win the session? Because we know he's fast, Dan. He's had 2 issues, though, so far today. He's got a clear track, which we haven't seen so much. Bakkerud maybe had a clear track, but he's going to have to do it every lap.
Yeah, be interesting to see what the lap times do now, won't it? Because I think this will be a good indicator. Timo Scheider is a very consistent driver, so he's not going to be making any mistakes. Obviously, he did have a problem in the last one, so there could be an issue with the car potentially again, but yeah, he's out on his own. We'll see what happens over the course of this race.
Mate, I reckon he's got 5 tenths on that first corner, because everybody in the first corner has had contact or been side by side trying to find traction, had to get on the handbrake, you know, taken a sly line. Scheider took the perfect racing line into turn 1 with nobody contesting it. So let's see what the first lap is. 46.4, pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's up there, isn't it?
It is right. So 46.4 would be up there with Timmy Hansen's fastest lap in this session. And remember, that's from a standing start. Oh, contact! Mandy August getting a little nudge from behind from Karai. Manages to hold on to the Ibiza through that narrow wall line section. Karai going to go joker. Guillem's already gone, so Patrick Guillem on the inside going to come out in front of Tamas Karai. So Karai be disappointed there to have lost time. Scheider, meanwhile, nailing his apexes in the Seat Ibiza. Oh, on the handbrake, took a fair bit of speed through there. Too quick or not?
I think it was probably just about right, wasn't it? Able to have the wheels lit as he was pointing the opposite direction, wheel spinning, get going over the line. 47.1 his lap time that time round. So his last 2 sectors are the same as his first lap, but his first sector is 8 tenths slower. Now that could be because of the extra speed carried off of the first corner.
Yeah, true.
Over the line.
Yeah, on the exit of the hairpin, because you would be going a lot quicker up the hill, yeah.
Yeah, and he's now down to a 15.9, so he's a tenth quicker on his first sector than the last lap.
I think it's fair to say, looking at the first lap, if you had a good start, it should be quicker, shouldn't it? Because you would cross the start-finish line faster.
Yes.
So, okay, our bad with Bakkerud's first lap to second lap, but strange to see second lap to third lap going slower too. But Scheider coming down now. Let's see what his consistency's like. It was a 47.1 on the previous lap, and it's a 47.3 this time, so he goes 2 tenths slower as well. But Timo Scheider, aiming to be as high up the list as he can. Managed not to get a DNF. He was P16 in Q1. Flies the Seat high over the jump. Going to joker this time round. Remember, he's only got to be in the top 12 to make the semis. That will be the target. On to that long back straight, and then late on the brakes, leaning on the car as you turn it in, backing it in just a little bit. Holding it on the throttle and then hard on the brake, flick it right, flick it left, a little bit of handbrake, tucks the nose in and then on the gas. Look at the track rubbering in through here. You can see the blue groove starting just to faintly appear. Not there fully yet. 3:18.6 the target. It's going to be a good time for Scheider. 1-3, 20.0. I think he'll slot in just in front of Kevin Hansen. That might be enough for P4. It's a good drive. Mandy August gets P2. Well done, Mandy August. That's a 1-2 there for All Inkle Munich Motorsport. Scheider wins from teammate Mandy August on her World RX debut. Patrick Guillaume is P3, Tamas Karai P4. Only Scheider, though, is on the front page. P4 for him, so he's 16th after Q1. P4 is going to see him, I think, well into the top 12. Off the line, watch Scheider here. He's absolutely clear, and look at this line.
Yeah, able to come in wide, really wide. Carry so much speed around the outside there. Even like 2 wheels over onto the curb on the outside as well. Really nailed that. Well, we saw it in his first sector time. 8 or... What was he, 6 tenths quicker than any other sector time through there on that first lap.
Yeah, very, very good indeed. In the background, you can see Karai behind August. August ran the nose wide here, got on the gas, got the car sideways. Then Mandy ran a little bit deep, and Karai again had another look. So they did lose a bit of time. To be fair, Tamas was good there not to fully go for the takeout. And Mandy did brilliantly to hold on to the position. So Scheider with the win, and it's 4th place. Great result after Q1.
Timo, a very difficult morning, so this must feel quite good right now. Talk us through what's gone wrong so far.
Well, we started off the free practice with electrical issue, and then we had in Q1 the same problem, having a good start into Q1, following Johan, Kristoffersson, and yeah, then we had this issue. It's a shame because the speed was there this morning already. Right now we had to do the thing, and we did it. So yeah, let's see what the day will bring.
We shall see in Q3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Scheider heading back to the paddock. Well, that's Q2 done and dusted. Let's see the results after 2 of our 3 qualifying sessions here for round 7 of the World Rallycross Championship. Johan Kristoffersson at the top of the table, but Andreas Bakkerud wins Q2. That is his first qualifying win of the year. Fantastic performance by the Norwegian. Timmy Hansen 3rd, Anton Markland, Kevin Hansen, Timoziano and Niklas Gronholm 6th and 7th. Ekström up to 8th. Liam Doran is 9th. Scheider up from 16th to 10th with that P4 in Q2. Larson down to 11th. Even with a DNF, he's still inside the top 12 thanks to Q1. And Enzo Eid is currently in. Bennett, August, Karai and Guillaume missing out with 1 session to go. Beautiful views here over Barcelona. So it's a fantastic city. Take a look at this, and hopefully you'll be able to come along next year.
Below the mountains and close to the sea, I found Barcelona, a place to be free. We lay on the beach waiting for the sunrise. I found Barcelona, a golden surprise. I found Barcelona, or maybe she found me.
Super 1600, round 1 of the 2020 FIA European Rallycross Championship for the front-wheel drive rockets. I think we're just about good to go. Jeremy Lambeck on the inside, Jan Černý, Josef Suster and Marcel Snijers are first up. And thumbs up from the marshal. Slowest first. So these were all the drivers who didn't necessarily have it go the way they wanted it to go in Q1. Černý gets the whole shot in the Skoda Citigo. Didn't think you'd be saying that in the European Rallycross Championship of Super 1600, did you? But it is.
Look at that City go.
Yeah, loving it. Černý leading the pack over the jump. Nobody goes joker on the first lap. You'd think somebody might.
Yeah, you'd think someone might have tried to split the strategy, but then again, I don't necessarily think anyone's holding each other up at this point. But yeah, maybe someone should have gone there, but you'd think maybe Lambek could have gone. Suster there with a mistake. Lambek able to get through. Lambek now trying to chase down the City go in front of him. Love seeing these cars back.
Yeah, great to have them back. So, after the first session, it was Bevlevsky leading from Birmingrud and Tuominen. They were your top 3 for Super 1600. We have now got a proper entry list with all team names on. So all 5 of the Audis were with Volon Racing, as we suspected. We've actually got some Volon cars which have been moved on. So Johan Ribeiro, apologies, trying my best. I've had a message on social media, thank you very much to whoever it was. I think it was Omesteed Photos that sent it in, I think, on Instagram. Ribeiro is 3 times Portuguese champion, and he actually acquired his Skoda Fabia, which you'll see later on in this session, from the Volon Racing squad. Trying to think what happened to Czerny, because Czerny was in a decent battle, but it was with Rachowski, who was in P8. I suppose the thing is, with only 8 cars, you're expecting these guys to be a long way down the order, and actually, Dan, they're inside the top 12.
Well, yeah, they all are, the 12 cars. So they're all making the semi-finals, aren't they? But yeah, it's, I thought we'd seen him further up as well. But then again, if they're fighting on track, then it's going to be costing them time.
Yeah.
So, they're going to be a little bit further down then, I guess.
Handbrake on the way into the right and the left.
Quite a boxy car, isn't it?
I like it.
Does look good.
I love Super 1600 cars. I would love a Super 1600 car. I really want one. There's just something about screaming in a car and pulling gears. Mega.
Revving to 10k is just...
What did your old Citroen rev to?
8,500.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I forget what the rev limit was for Super 1600 originally when it was in the rally class. It was either 8.5 or 9, if I remember correctly. But I say these cars are known to have a lot more power than they had back in the day. Super close into that tyre barrier. Got to make sure you don't clip that, especially in a front-wheel drive car. You can have a drive shaft broken instantly, and then you'll be unlikely to make it to the finish, depending on how loaded up your diff is. Only going to take this. Target time, I guess, is from the previous session, really. Belevsky, was 3:33.2, and he's already shy of that. Crosses the line with a 3:39.6, 0.2 quicker than he went last time.
And with no fighting on track.
Yeah.
Track slower.
You think the track's got slower? Yeah.
Be, isn't it?
Developing conditions. Czerny takes it from Lambek, Suster and Snoyers. No trouble really for Czerny, even from the start. Look, I remember, so I've been lucky enough to do 2 races in Super 1600 back in the UK with the Lomax team, and I remember Bakkerud was at one of them. He was racing the buggies, and he said to me, he goes, with the car, he said, when you get the wheel spin, he said, you think you're at the top of the gear, he said, and you're not, because the wheel spin, he said, you'll take the next gear and it'll bog. He said, so don't. He said, hold on to first for longer than you think. Now, of course, I didn't. I got it wrong. But Bakkerud, of course, was bang on the money, being double Super 1600 European champion, I believe. So you've got to get that start thing right, though. I think they're way harder to get the perfect start in than a supercar.
Yeah, and I always found when I was driving the front-wheel drive car, it was a balance between, do you sort of ride at the wheel spin, try and reduce it,
yeah,
or just let it,
bang it off the limiter and then wait until it grips, as it were. Yeah. You certainly don't take a gear early like you do in a supercar and just let the torque come back in. You've only got that torque up in the high RPM. If you drop it off cam, as you go into second gear, nightmare. Race 2. Johan Ribeiro in that Skoda Fabia, ex-Volon, then Gergely Maton, Artur Igorov and Radoslaw Rachowski. Feel free to send correct pronunciations in. So first time we've seen Super 1600. Do love conversing with you guys, even if you're telling us when we get stuff wrong, that is fine. We do our best, but we always appreciate the extra information. Very even start across the grid here. Martin and Rachowski in the middle of the grid. Martin going to get the whole shot, surely. Does he run wide though and let enough Egorov go up the inside? Not quite. So it is Martin who takes the lead in this one. And it's Ribeiro, sorry, who's in P2. Through the right-hander, who's going to joke a lap one.
It's Egorov has gone in along with Rachowski as well. So Vollen then splitting the tactics there.
Ribeiro.
Ribeiro. You got a message already?
Yeah, I did have a message from our sound guy. So it's, oh, Martin with there's a little bump in the braking zone. So Ribeiro, is that better? Sound, yeah? That's way better, I'm told. But thank you very much. That's the advantage of having Spanish people in the truck. And he's Portuguese as well, so there you go. I'm getting it all wrong. My apologies, mate. I should have guessed, shouldn't I? Ribeiro. There we go. We're doing our best. We're learning as we go. So yeah, the trucks come from Belgium. We've got our sound man. He's doing a brilliant job, having to work really hard for us. He's from Portugal. We've got an EVS operator in there, Julius. Julius, he wanted to be a professional footballer, he told us last night. Very good at football, wasn't he? Danish. He is. Our director is Swedish this weekend.
And a pilot.
Yeah, pilot as well, Robert. Is yeah. So he used to fly private jets. What a legend, eh? We've got quite the crew together this weekend, haven't we?
And then we got a man from the east of England.
You, me? Richie. Oh yeah. Well, the east of London.
East of London.
Yeah, producing in the truck. Yeah, Andrew Oates down there. Sally Blower. We need to say hello to Sally, who's a production manager.
Yes.
Sitting downstairs, manager. Yeah, looking after us as well. So yeah, we have a big team of people here. Bob and Tom. And I tell you what as well, this is a list of people who've worked on this championship. A lot of these people have worked on this championship for a very long time. There's some of us have been here right from the start, and say we're very lucky to have been so. Martin leading from Ribeiro. Nearly said it again. We're doing our best. Ribeiro in second place, 1.6 back. Egorov, look. Oh, and that's retirement. So that must be Rachowski, who was 22.5 off the back of the pack, as you can see. You can hear them, can't you? They're obviously right on the limit of the gear coming through the long left-hander. They can't take the next gear up because it would unsettle the car too much, so you end up on the limiter as you come into the braking zone for the gravel section. And then they have to be so patient down on the exit here to get on the power, and that's something which I think is really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's an uphill exit with lots of dust on it. Front-wheel drive car with quite a lot of power, really, going to it for what traction they do have. So it's just a case of waiting it out, feathering the throttle and trying to find a grip.
Into the joker lap for Martin and Ribeiro. Egorov coming through the standard lap, slotting into P2. So Ribeiro drops back one place. Martin was in the first session 6th. And the time was a 3:37.6, so this will give us an idea of how the track is developing. I think this is going to be quicker. Super, no, maybe not. You see, that is so deceptive, isn't it? Waiting at the line, and I'm wrong. It's 3:37.8, so it's quicker in this session. He goes 1.7 seconds ahead of Cherney from the first race. But at 3:37.8, Martin is 0.2 slower than he was earlier on today. Rachowski, unfortunately, much slower with a DNF. Ribeiro, Egorov, Martin, your top three. And all going into the top four, look. So good job by all of them. We've got quickest drivers still to come in the last race. Ribeiro on the inside. Martin in the blue and white Audi. And it's Egorov in the green now. So Egorov runs wide. Let's see anything too untoward happen to Rachowski.
You mean you peppered our cameraman there?
Yeah. Look, is that what I mean? Look how long they have to wait on the throttle at the bottom hairpin. You have to be, the patience to go quickly is, I'll say, is really hard. where I've always been thrashed by racing drivers on circuits, is just the patience. I've lots of wheel spin, just use the handbrake a lot, completely inappropriate. But very good fun. Very good fun. Look at that, what a view. You can see the huge grandstand down the F1 straight, and then over on the right-hand side, that's the scoring tower. So on that, you know, your numbers come up down the tower to tell you who's leading. That's how we get a rallycross car back.
I wonder if EKS might want to borrow that to straighten out Robin's chassis.
Do you think, how bad do you think it is?
I don't want to say it'd be too bad. I mean, he did have the tyres there as a little buffer.
No, I think it'll be okay. Oh, no, not happy. There you go. There's your scoring tower. Catalonia at the top. That's our region that we're in. And look at that in the background. Beautiful. It's now, what is it? Dan, is that 16 or 15?
16.7.
Dusting off the time screen. 26.7 on the track.
Almost short
We
weather.
are late. I think we've been here in September before, but not October.
I don't know.
Fair enough. What's that?
Someone
Is that another local site? This is a prison. Is this our local cameraman again? Edward? It is, he nods. Edward, our local cameraman. Edward, how do you know that's a prison, eh? No, I'm sure he is. Edward would be a great local tour guide, wouldn't he? I want to go on a local tour with Edward. So at the minute, we're not able to go anywhere, I'm afraid. We are restricted very strictly to the hotel and the racetrack. So that's the way it goes this year. Thank you to Edward, our local cameraman. There he is. There's Edward. Give us a wave, Edward. You don't know, you can see. There he is. Tom Mann. Yes. Very cool. Very cool. Just leans out to the side. We're enjoying your work, Edward. Thank you. There's the spotter's truck. Behind it is the TV trucks. So one of those is the tender, which brings all the kit with it. The other one is the truck where all our multinational production crew are. There's Tom Jeffs. Tom, can you hear us? There he is. Tom, in Portugal, once referred to as a Yeti when he was completely frozen up. Very good cyclist, if you're interested. Loves his bikes, several bikes, one old one. He'll know what I mean. Diego. Hey, how's it going? Yes, nice one, Diego. These poor men having to listen to my commentary all day long.
And they can't even run away.
No. Who's this? Jordi. Jordi covering his hair there, Jordi. He was. Don't worry. You look great from all angles, Jordi. It's all good. It's all good. There you go. A tour of the cameraman. We need this more often. A little track clear up. We can go around the... Where's Michael? There he is. There's Michael. So last cameraman, Michael. There we are. I've had a go on one of those cameras in Argentina. I was terrible. Tanner Faustin had a go on it and annoyingly was really good straight away. He was just got the hang of it. I was panning and I was like too tight on the car and I'd just pan across the barrier. You'd only get the front of the car and it's not easy. It's not. Have you had a go at any of the other stuff?
No, I haven't even had a go directly.
See, we don't. So we used to get time when we had time and we had support categories that we didn't show. Just occasionally, you know, off the record, we'd go and have a go at something else. So in Argentina, when we were lining up the cameras one morning, and you know, for whatever reason, the camera that we were using it was Saturday. We didn't used to show some of the Saturday stuff. So I went and had a go on the camera that was in the spotter's tower. So that was terrible. Tanner was great. But I've had a go at directing as well on some of the support categories in France, which are not FIA titles. So I can't remember what we had, buggies or something. And that's not easy either. Not at all. But it was quite funny. I got some serious abuse off the cameramen because the cameramen can all talk back to you just as we can talk back to the TV truck. And yeah, I was getting some serious abuse. Stick to commentary. I'm sure that some say don't even stick to that. But yeah, they're a good team. They really are. And as I've said, a lot of times already this year, everybody has and is working really hard to bring this to you. People having to give up time when they get home to go into isolation, depending on their circumstances, where they come from and so on. And it's not easy. So hats off to the whole team. both the organisers here in Spain, the travelling crew from IMG, and also us guys from the TV side. Thank you to you all for your support this year, watching this brilliant series. We've had some great racing too, haven't we? We really have. I was still, the second final at Höljes, I think, is still my favourite final this year.
Yeah.
Not for the result, for the race.
Yeah.
Like, and you could tell Kristoffersson and Ekström had loved it, and that's what I want to see.
It was nothing to do with luck, was it? It was pure out and out.
It was
Speed.
It was tenths, wasn't it? They were battling tenths per sector, and I loved it. Gronholm's win in the wet, say proper hard-fought win in Finland, and thinking that Kristoffersson had got them all done, and they hadn't, and then 4 cars over the line, and just there have been some brilliant moments. What's been your highlight? Let us know. Hashtag World RX, eh? Right, we're about ready, I think. Q2 Race 3 Super 1600. On the inside, Yuri Belevsky. Then it's Marius Bermingrud, Rasmus Tuomanen and Marat Kniazev. 3 Audis, all from Volland Racing. 1 Twingo from Set Promotion. We mentioned earlier on, these guys are, as a general rule, the key teams. Tuomanen loses out at the start, drops back in the Twingo, so that could be that the Audi is a better starter, but it could also be Tuomanen not quite so experienced in getting these cars off the line. Certainly got the lap times in him. I reckon Tuomanen might go Joker straight away from the back of the pack down. He's got nothing to lose by doing it if nobody in front of him goes.
I think we'll see Belevsky go.
I'm betting on, from P3, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
1 beer.
Oh, no, Kniazev goes. So Kniazev goes, Belevsky stays out, and Tuomanen stays out as well. So now Tuomanen has a decision to make about whether he feels the pace is enough to stay in front of Kniazev, or whether he goes on the next one and hopes to beat him anyway.
Right, what's your betting?
I don't know. I think if he's not on the back, he might stay out. Well, we're going to see what the gap is behind them anyway. Do you know what my bet is? That Pinnamaki or somebody very experienced from Pinnamaki's squad will be up there and will probably tell him what to do anyway.
Yeah.
And at this stage in my rallycross career, I'd be inclined to, because these are quick guys anyway, probably doesn't matter whether you're P2 or P4 here. I mean, obviously it matters, but it's not going to be the end of your weekend either way. There's 2 rounds here, you're just going to keep it sensible, aren't you? You want the most mileage possible if this is your prize drive from last year, don't you? He goes. Dan Rook said it. Kniazev's done enough, look.
I do get your point though. He was following Belevsky, who was last year the star of Super 1600, wasn't he? And Bermingrud as well. Both very, very quick drivers.
There's nobody slow out there, is there?
In the class. I don't know, you kind of would want to follow them, see where they go, learn off them.
Yeah, and you can do that. There's no harm in following somebody for a race if you think they're quicker than you, to figure out why and where they're quicker than you. It's all too easy. Well, I'm going to joke and see if I can beat them, and then you don't beat them, and then you're not following them, and they get another couple of tenths a section. You go, well, you might as well stick with them, learn where the 2 tenths are a second, look at the data, go, why are they beating me on this section? Is it the setting? Is it the car? Is it me? Not as easy as you think, this rallycross driving, is it, Dan?
No, not at all.
He's all right, Dan. He's done a bit in his time.
Nah, I'm a has-been now.
No,
I'm in the comms box now. All I do is talk about it.
Well, it's fine. Then you has-been with me, mate. You're welcome. Final lap now for Bermingrud and Belevsky. Kniazev behind. He's only 3.0 off the back of them. I wonder if that first lap joker might be enough to move Kniazev up. Kniazev was 4th in Q1. That's gone up to 3.2 now. So maybe these guys just edging it enough. Well, I thought Bermingrud nearly didn't joker there from the line he took into the right-hander. Here comes Kniazev on the inside, and it is enough. Now they're going to carry a lot more speed onto that straight. Makes a big difference for the Super 16s, but Kniazev's done it with a joker on lap 1. Great tactics and great pace.
Yeah, and well, you can afford to do that in the last race, can't you? Because everyone there with you is a quick driver, so you're not going to catch anybody up get held up. So yeah, it worked out well for him.
Joker from P2, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Joker from P2, which was a strong position anyway. All thought it might be going to run a bit wide. Look how close they are at the finish. Kniazev, though, only enough for third, 1.5 seconds back. So it is Marton who wins the session with Igorov in second. Those are the two Audis. Trying to think what this is going to look like at the top of the table. I've got a feeling I know already. Kniazev, Barkerud and Belevsky ahead of Rasmus Tuominen. Here's where they slot in. Or Jan Černý in there. So Černý got fourth. So that was great by Jan Černý. Brilliant performance. So fourth for the City Go, splitting up the Audis. Down to turn one. Kniazev on the outside. Tries to go the long way round, but gets run out just wide. And then from P2, early Joker.
I think the track must be getting slower. It's backwards to what we're thinking, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, it's dry now, isn't it? I'd say it is starting to rubber in. I don't think it will be the same. Well, tomorrow will be interesting because of the dampness overnight. There was water pouring off the inside of the roof from the condensation, and it was cold here this morning. So, I don't know. We'll see. But good stuff from the Super 1600s. Here are the standings at the end of Q2. Gergely Marton is in the TQ spot. It was Bevlevsky after the first session, and Marton's actually moved up from P6 to P1. Bevlevsky second, Barkerud third, Igorov, Kniazev, Tuominen, Ribeiro, Černý in eighth, and then here we are, Lambeck, Suster, Rachowski and Sniers are your top 12. Right, that's it from me and Dan Rook for Q2. Laura Winter is down in the paddock.
Well, after quite an eventful Q2, certainly for the man standing next to me, we had to come and talk to Johan Kristoffersson. Up on two wheels at one point. Just talk me through that race. Now you've had a bit of time to digest what happened, because straight after it in the car, I could very much see that the adrenaline was still coursing through your veins.
Well, I mean, it always are after you have done a rallycross race. I mean, it's always a lot of action and the cars are fast. And yeah, our Polo proved to be strong as well, so very happy with that. It's Latvala approved since many years in rally, so now I had a very, very good start. I was a car length clear of everyone, and then yeah, I had to brake quite early into T1 as my corner is a bit sharper than the others on the outside, and from there on, yeah, I got too close to the barrier on the inside. I was on two wheels for a while. Finally got it back to four wheels, and yeah, had a bit of a argy-bargy with Marklin into T2 or 3, stalled the engine, had it restarted, and then finally get going, took the Joker lap, and from there on, car was definitely a bit difficult to drive, a bit different, let's say, but still very strong, and I could do good lap times, but track was going backwards a bit, so a bit more slippery in 3 of the corners, so, but overall a good hit.
You sound very relaxed, and I believe your car is doing okay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's like I said, it's Latvala approved, so it's very strong. So hopefully had a good and a little bit more clean start for Q3, and then let's see.
Some clean action in Q3 is exactly what we want. Thank you so much to you.
Thank you.
Well, Q3 then is not too far away now at all. It's starting at 1:35 p.m. local time here in Barcelona, and hopefully you'll join us then. Again, see you soon.